Welcome back to 12 Acres. I have been watching my quail hatch these last couple of days, and I saw something very interesting that I had never seen before in my experience of quail egg hatching. So let's get into it. Okay, on a normal egg, you have a large end and a small end, right? And the air sac is usually in the large end. And normally when a chick hatches, he will pip, which is making that first initial break into the air sac where he then begins to start breathing. After he does that, then he breaks through the shell in that same spot typically. And from there, then he'll start zipping his way around the egg. And this all normally takes place in the larger end of the egg. Well, I found a few of my eggs in this hatch started pipping on the smaller end of the egg, which is highly unusual. I have never seen it before anyway. So this particular one that I'm watching right here towards the front, it's kind of the front left one right there, I have been watching him for a while now. And as you can see over to the left, there's a couple of eggs that are hatching normally. And once they zip all the way around, they hatch very quickly. Quail hatch a lot faster than chicken eggs do, so the entire process from pip to zip is very fast, and then they just push their heads out, and then they rest, and eventually they push their wings out, and then they rest, and then they wiggle around some more, and they get their feet out, and they push the egg away. And that's normally a very fast process, as you will see with these little guys. However, this egg here more on the right in front is hatching from the wrong end. He's got it all the way pipped or zipped around like he should, but his position clearly is not right for a fast hatch. So it's kind of like a breech baby, I guess. And from what I've read today, because I really didn't know much about this, so I actually did some research today to find out what's going on. It could have been caused by genetic things that would make the baby, grow in the wrong direction or whatever. But I think more than likely it was the fact that I probably had these eggs stored on their side prior to the incubation process. And then in this type of incubator, they lay on their sides and they don't lay upright like in some of the incubators where it has the holders for the eggs that hold them in a more upright position. So somewhere along the line, the air sac either gets switched around, which then causes the babies to hatch in the wrong position. I mean, it's just very strange. So watching this guy struggle, I was tempted to help him many, many times, but I knew that he was breathing and he was still working at it. And if I would have opened this incubator, it would have compromised the lives of many other eggs that were hatching. Because anytime you open the incubator, immediately the moisture gets lost and they can dry out very quickly. And when an egg starts to dry out, that membrane dries so quickly and it acts almost like a glue and it holds the chick in there, and then they cannot get out without assistance. So I did not want to risk any other chicks' lives by getting in there to help this one. So I just kind of took a wait and see approach, and I watched him and recorded it. And I'm going to let it play now for you guys to see. I've got it sped up to 4 times the speed so that it goes a little bit faster, because all in all, I stood here for probably at least 30 minutes recording just to see this one little egg hatch. So have a look and see, and I'll get back with you towards the end. So he's definitely making progress, but as you can see, he's got his foot coming out first. Normally they will push their head out and their head will be the first thing that pops out of the egg. So this is definitely an unusual position, but as you'll see, he continues to struggle and he continues to work at it, and eventually he does move his body around enough that he does pop his head out, which you'll see shortly. So here he's finally starting to get into position where he'll be getting his head out. The other eggs that I've seen of mine on this hatch that started pipping on the wrong end, I know for a fact one of them for sure didn't make it. He had it zipped all the way around, and then for whatever reason he quit and he died. And again, it's that call. Should I open up the incubator and help him, or let him to his own devices? So it's a very tough decision to make, and one that I take very, very seriously. And it does really bother me when any of them die, especially knowing that, if I would have done something, maybe I could have saved him. You just don't know. And even though sometimes you do try to help them, you can't always save them either. So it's a tough call. It just really is. So this little guy ended up hatching fine after all. I mean, it took a very, very long time, but he's perfectly normal, and you can't even tell which one he is now. He's jumping around with all the other chicks, and he's all fluffy and healthy and strong, and you would never know that he came out wrong. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you did, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.